You want to cut your hair at home. You've watched my videos on, how to cut layers at home. You may be a little bit confused on some areas. So what I'm doing today is I'm going to break down essential things you need to know. And this goes for anyone's hair, male, female, human being, whatever the heck you are. This goes for anyone who's got hair wanting to try to cut it at home. Primarily if your hair is on the, somewhat longer side. Yes, it applies if the hair is a bit shorter. But the most common comment or challenge I get from a lot of viewers is when it comes to the back of the hair, okay? So let's just break down cutting your hair at home, what you need to understand. Now, there's nothing like going to now listen to what I'm saying, please, an experienced hairstylist or professional. Because if you go and get, your hair cut by a cousin, a friend, someone in beauty school, someone who has no experience, and you've got this gorgeous head of hair, and then they completely hack it and create a crime scene on your head, guess what? The hair police have to show up and try to fix the damn scene, right? It's a disaster. And your beautiful hair is then destroyed, and I've seen pictures of it. It's not fun, it's not pretty. So please, if you cherish your hair, do not let anyone experiment on it. Now, if you are taking this into your own hands, meaning you are going to try to attempt to cut your hair yourself at home, can you screw it up? Yes. Can you do a pretty decent job? Yes, if you really, really, really are careful. Okay, so when it comes to haircuts, right, what's important is, I usually would do this on wet hair, right, wet, damp hair. In this situation, I'm doing it on dry hair just to make things a little bit easier. But you always want to find your natural parting, okay? Your natural parting is basically where the hair splits. So it may be, on the side like this. It may be more towards the middle. If you want to be safe, you can always cut it down the middle. But if your hair always goes to one side like this. Sorry, I can't even see anything. If your hair always goes over to one side, say like this, then yes, you do want to cut it more to that one side, all right? Traditionally what happens though, if you're cutting it over to the side and you cut this, right, this is going to be shorter and this is going to be, it's going to feel like it's not enough hair on this side because of how far this hair has to travel. It's going to be a lot longer on the parted side and shorter here because all this hair travels down. So you do have to keep that in mind. It gets a little more complicated with the side parts, but this is very, very crucial. And I'm going to clip this because it's driving me crazy. It's very, very, very crucial that you understand what's going on when you're cutting hair, especially on yourself. Also, if you are interested in any of these hair tools, I've got my own hair clips, right? I have brushes, I got blow dryers, and these are available on my website. Highly suggest them. They're very affordable. It just keeps the hair out of the way. You've got the top of the head, okay? This is the top of the head. Whether it's right down the middle, it doesn't matter if you have a side part. This is the top, the corner, and the sides, okay? I'm going to demonstrate that again. You've got the top, the corners, and the sides. All three of those sections have to blend into each other in order to have a nice, flowing, balanced, what I call just beautiful haircut, all right? It all has to work seamlessly around the head this way. And then from that, you've got obviously different shapes, okay? You've got, a rounded shape, triangular shape, a square shape, okay, which is very much like this, very boxy. Triangular is short to long, okay? Great for some people with rounded face, like if you're trying to narrow the face down. And then I always try to cut usually pretty much rounded to keep it very, very balanced. And that also helps the hair grow out very, very nicely. So I'm basically cutting it out from where the hair grows. That's what I've had most success with. Then you have techniques like layering, graduation, one length, okay? You're cutting the hair one length, you're layering it to remove weight, right? Or you're graduating the hair, which is like you're building weight. Like you see those angled stacked bobs, you're building weight in areas. So in this case today, and I'm assuming most people are gonna try to layer your hair at home, and that's what we're focusing on. It's very important that you understand those fundamentals. Now, I can't expect to teach you 25 plus years of haircutting experience in one video, but I do want to let you know I have dozens upon dozens of haircutting videos. Just go to my channel and browse my videos or type in whatever you want. Just add the Salon Guy to it in the search on YouTube and you'll find what you're looking for. So, when it comes to layering your hair, okay, the front obviously is a lot easier because when you're creating angles, you can pull the hair straight down, right? You can create like a center parting this way. Anytime you're cutting hair, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're putting that hair out of the way if you're not cutting it. Very, very, very important, or else you're going to be chopping hair you don't want to. So I like to do this again when the hair is wet. Finger positioning, right? You never, ever, ever want to create an angle with your fingers straight like this. Because I'm not going to do this because I'll destroy this mannequin. If I were to cut straight across, guess what? What does that look? What is this? It's a straight line. This is what your hair is going to look like. It's going to literally look like a straight line like this, okay? And you don't want this when it comes to getting your hair layered, all right? And you want to keep the length, you want to keep your hair nice and pretty. You don't want to have this, okay? And then all of this. It's going to look like a disaster. That's why I call it a crime scene, okay? What you do want to have is a nice, pretty angle going from here into the length. So how do we go about doing that? Well, it starts with, the first thing is how short do you want your angle in the front, right? Where do you want this to start? Do you want your first angle to be like towards the lip? Do you want to be down towards the neck area? Do you want just a little bit of flow? You know, that all really, really, really depends. The thing is when you're cutting it yourself, you know, you're going to be pulling it down on an angle like this. So it's a little bit more difficult, but what you want to make sure you're doing is you want to make sure that you're combing the hair all straight, comb it under this way, comb it on top, comb it in all different directions, okay? And then you're going to want to grab the hair. So when you're grabbing the hair, all right, you're going to comb it into an area where you feel comfortable, and then you're basically going to give the hair a cut where you want to start, all right? So let's just say you want to start here. You're going to comb and cut on an angle. Your fingers have to be pointed downwards. The scissors have to be pointed downwards like this. And you could even slide cut like this to make it really, really soft and start out like that. And then look what we've done. We've created an angle going from here all the way down to here, all right? It's not going to be super perfect. It's going to be, you know, it is what it is, but remember, you're doing this yourself. You're not an expert. However, can you create a decent shape? Yes. Can you feel comfortable cutting your hair? I just did this. Yeah, I know I've been cutting hair for a long time. I can do this with my eyes closed. But literally, I just created this nice little soft layer right in through here. Okay? So then, what do? All of this has to be blended. So then you can comb your hair out this way. Okay? Comb it out. There's the corner. And what I'm doing is I'm cutting out the corner. Okay? And then I'm going to bring this all the way down out to the sides. And there's a little bit of hair there. I'm leaving the length, and I'm just cutting and building upon, it's like building, right, a house. We're building the different layers of the house, and we're cutting upwards, right? I'm going to comb this straight up. There's all that weight on the very, very top. So basically what I'm doing is I'm creating a shape that goes around this way. Let's bring this way, way, way down. I'm creating a shape that goes like this, okay? Straight up this way, right? There. I'm going to cut this straight across like that. I'm going to hold on to this section. You're going to comb this straight out from the corners, okay? The corners of the head where the hair grows and where it rounds out. So there, I'm cutting the corner now. Now I'm going to hold on to all that hair, and I'm going to comb this straight out from the sides like this. We're going out to the sides now, okay? And you want to let the hair drop. That's going to drop because that's the length. And look what happens. We've got a beautiful flow, nice layers coming from here all the way down into here. You blow dry this, and I'm guaranteeing you're going to have a nice shape to it, okay? Now, when it comes to creating a balanced layer especially going towards the back of the head, right? What we need to maintain is this. We need to maintain that this section right here on the top of your head is even and balanced all the way to the very, very, very front. And this is where holding the hair straight up works perfectly, right? Straight up from where the hair grows from the head or straight out. And by doing this, you're going to keep the very, very top perfectly even and balanced. So from here, the very top of the head, it's all even. Then, like I mentioned, we're going to work into the corners. So we're going to pull this straight out from the head. Look where the hair is coming from. All right? The hair is coming from the sides and the corners and the top. So I'm just pulling it from where the hair grows out of the head. So you're going to continue to do this and follow this shape. And yes, you may see some hair that needs to be cut off. The thing is you have to worry about is that you're not cutting huge chunks of hair that seem very unbalanced. If you're pulling your hair out and you see one piece where it's like super, super short and then really long, you did something, you hate to say it, but you did something wrong, okay? And it's happened. That's how we as professionals check our work to make sure that we didn't screw something up somewhere down the road, all right? Now, when it comes to the back of the hair, I'm going to demonstrate this as best I can with the head turned around to pretend this is the back of the head so you can see. This is the back, and what we did throughout the entire top was comb it straight up and cut it, okay? So if you are trying to cut the back of your hair, there's honestly only so much you can do to make it even and balanced, because your arms and your hands and everything, your shoulders can only go so high, you can only do so much. So what I'm doing is I'm taking a parallel horizontal section, okay, just like I showed you throughout the back. We're going to comb this straight up to that section that we see underneath that hair. That's called the guide. Hold on to this. Don't lose this piece. Then comb your hair again right underneath that and bring all of this hair up. This entire section, bring that whole thing up, and you're going to see all that long hair underneath, over the guide from the previous section. So what you want to do is go as much as you possibly can to where you don't see any more hair that you need to cut when you comb this straight up. What that's doing, it's doing the best that you can do of cutting your hair yourself and blending some of the layers. Same thing with the corners, all right? We're going to go in through here. We're taking hair from the back of the head now. We're combing it straight out from the head, and we're going to do that with the sides as well. Comb it straight out. Remember, we're just going to cut what we see here that needs to be cut. Do not remove any unwanted hair, okay? Remember, this at the very, very bottom is the length, so you're cutting on top of the length. So then you're really just taking the hair as much as you possibly can and combing it to where you're seeing all the hair balanced like so. So it's a lot of pulling out from the head, a lot of seeing what's going on, a lot of like checking, right? And then as the hair dries, you're going to be able to see it even better. So that's why I like to cut wet into dry, right? So as we're coming along throughout the haircut, as the hair is drying, you're able to check and you're able to see how it's all balancing, how it's all laying properly, okay? And there, so we're cutting that. Now I'm going to do the corners. After a while, like you do this a handful of times, you're going to start to really understand like, wow, this is actually pretty easy. And I hate to say this, but like I've seen so many professionals mess this part up, right? This simple, essential part up when it comes to hair cutting. And a lot of the clients that I've seen over the years that come in for, or have come in for emergency, patch-up jobs, or I like to call it reconstructive surgery. A lot of it is just going over the haircut and fixing and redoing all of this because it was done improperly to begin with. So if someone is cutting your hair and things are not balanced properly, it's not cut evenly, it's not held up the right way, it's going to cause a disaster. But then, believe it or not, all you need to do is follow these steps and you're gonna see the mistakes in the hair, and you're gonna be able to hopefully patch it up yourself, all right? And in some situations, it may be better than others. Some hair you may see like, you know, one piece of the hair is like all the way up here, then the next section of hair is like, you know, it's like this long, and you're like, wait a minute, why is this so uneven? Sometimes, remember, the shortest hair, if you cut everything to this length, it's gonna be that short on the entire head. If you want to keep your hair as long as possible, sometimes you have to leave this and then try to balance out the longest points on the head. So you leave that, you bring everything up, and if you're seeing the majority of hair is around the same length, which is the longest, just let that short piece grow out. It will grow into everything else. Just whatever you do, don't ever, ever, ever cut your hair to the shortest layer unless you want your hair that short. Because if not, what's gonna happen is you are going to have a very, very short haircut. So it's the same thing with short hair like this, medium length hair. You comb it all straight up, right? There's the hair, we're gonna cut this straight across, and you wanna try to hold on and keep an eye on where the previous section is. And when I say previous section, you just cut that. You're now gonna hold on to that. You're gonna take a section behind that. Guess what? What do we call something that we did before? Previous. We did it previously, right? So that's the previous section right there. We can see it, and then that new hair is longer, so we cut that, and that's how we're keeping that balance, okay? We're just going through the entire head, and we're keeping that balanced shape throughout the entire thing. So, you know, this is a bit more advanced. You know, I like doing these step-by-step tutorials. Please let me know if you found this video helpful. Even if you're not cutting, just go through your haircut with a comb. And I do sell these combs on my website. I sell everything you can find, right, on my website. These combs, I have my own scissors. I've got brushes, blow dryer. I mean, everything is there on my website, shop.thesalonguy.com. And if you use code YouTube20, that's YouTube20, 20% off and free shipping in the United States on orders with a value over $50. It has to be over $50 with the discount. If you add everything to cart, you apply the discount, and it comes to like $49.20, you're not getting the free shipping. It has to be over $50 with the discount to get the free shipping. And it's quite a deal too, trust me. So let me know in the comments below if you really found this video helpful. I'd love to know. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.